Hello and welcome to today's little mini class about qualifying clients. My name is Dana Zivizak and I am a travel agent educator. And I'm here today to talk about one of my favorite I'm going to correct this. One of the most important parts of the sales process. I hope you're having a great day. And we are going to get started. Let me go ahead. I'm going to share this video. Let me see here. Um, where is the video? There it is. Awesome. Okay, let me go ahead. I'm just going to share this into the group just to make sure everyone can see it. And then we're going to get started right away. Awesome. All right, here we go. Welcome, welcome. All right, so we're going to talk about Sales 101. And of course, when we talk about sales, we have the sales process and we have marketing processes. And the marketing is what brings you leads. Okay. You cannot get a sale without a lead. Okay. Marketing is the relationship building part of our business where we can grow and meet new people, build new relationships that turn eventually into vacation bookings. Now, when you receive a lead, what we have to do before we do anything is qualify. And a lot of agents, they don't skip over this step or they just don't give it the amount of time that it deserves. So that's why what we're going to talk about today. Now, you will occasionally get a unicorn, okay, who knows exactly what they want to book, and you get to book it and it's perfect, it's easy, and we love them. Okay, never be ungrateful for the unicorns who know exactly what they want and they just want you to book it and plan it and all that kind of stuff. They're very decisive. We love decisive unicorns. All right, but most of our leads are not decisive unicorns. Okay, so qualifying, what does that mean? It means you are narrowing down out of all the possible options for their trip. You're helping them figure out what they want to do. Okay. Say they want to go to Universal Orlando. That's the first one that popped in my head. Okay. Now, there's a lot of different ways to sell Universal. Okay. Where do they want to stay? What do they want to do? Are they going to be going after, I'm sure now after Epic Universe opens up? Okay. You need to figure out what their expectations is and educate them on the options, because here's the thing. They might not know that there's a resort that they can actually walk from to get to the new Epic Universe. The New Value Resorts, Stella Nova, I believe. You can walk from both of them, but Stella Nova, I believe, is the one that has the more direct walking path. I have it written down because I have to always remember which one has it. But that's a value level resort, and you get a deluxe perk with it. Okay. And people don't realize that. Now, of course, and now nothing gets you express pass at Epic, but for free, I should say. But then also there's Helios, where you literally walk into the park. It's not a walking path, you're there. Okay. But then, of course, we have our other campus at Universal. And would they like the express pass over there? Would they like to stay at a premier property? Would they like to do a split stay? There are so many different options that you just can't say. You can't just have somebody fill out a quote request form and then issue them a quote. It's more of a process, okay? Because in their minds, they want to see the best price. However, when they are there, your job when you are qualifying a client is to envision what they want the experience to be on the ground, which is hard, which is why you have to ask them questions. You have to explain to them what all of this looks like. And okay, so if you stay here, you'll have these perks. Like, that's the first thing they have to figure out. They have to figure out where they want to stay. Well, no, let's go back one. First, they need to know when they want to go. Then, okay, well, where do you want to stay? How many days do you want to be there? All of these different things, they're overwhelmed by all those options. This is where we are the differentiators from online booking, because we can walk them through those options and make sure that they're getting the best price for what they want. Okay. And that's the biggest advantage to qualifying, is you can't read their minds. Okay. You can't read their minds. We cannot know what is going to be perfect for them without talking to them, or without, you know, going back and forth on email. So that goes us to the next one. How do we qualify? And I did not make the font smaller, but that's okay. So we have to meet them where they are. Some people are cool with just going back and forth over email, like asking them questions here and there. That's fine. I use Calendly, and I know actually now even Microsoft Outlook has this feature where you can set up your hours and they can schedule a consultation. I have clients who love this feature because it is such a great tool. And as you can see, I've been using it since 2021. But this is an essential part of qualifying. Again, not everybody's going to schedule an appointment. All right. Which is why it's important to know that you can still qualify over email or over text, or you sending voice messages back and forth. Okay. Some people, the schedules might not line up that they can talk to you, but we can, with technology today, we can make it happen. Okay. Asking those important questions, explaining to them, okay, so this is how, if you're a family of 6 and you want to go to Universal, here are your different options. Okay. Their options are more limited because, if they all want to be in one room, but then they want Premier Pass, well, then they're looking at a suite at a Premier Hotel. Premier Pass, not Premier Pass, an Express Pass at the, the original campus there. They have fewer options. Okay. But they do have the great family suites and things like that for families at the Cabana Bay. Fun fact, the family suites, though, the Despicable Me, the Jurassic Park, all of those only sleep 5. Okay, so if you're a family of 6, it doesn't work. Which I have a family of 6 right now that I'm working with. Who it's interesting trying to find, the right accommodations for them. All right, but this is the how. How do you get to them? You can either schedule a phone call. That's the easiest. However, like I said before, people are less likely to call. I will tell you, I am a texter. Just to give you a real life example, my exterminator texted me and said, "When do you want to start spring, spraying, And of course I was like, yesterday, because the bugs are out and I don't like bugs. But he's like, "Okay, I'll text you when I can come." Awesome. And then my other yesterday, and this is all happened yesterday, which is really interesting. He texted me, he got it back. We went back and forth. Perfect. The HVAC company, who they do maintenance, spring and fall for the AC and all that, they're callers. And, for me to pick up the phone, like the first time they called, they were, I was in the car, so I couldn't look at my calendar, so I didn't pick up because it was, I was gonna be like, "I have to call you back anyway, blah, blah, blah." They don't have this feature where you can just schedule, or just schedule a time to talk to me. Like, if you have to do it over the phone, fine. And they're a wonderful company. I love them, but it's more of a pain for me. This is me as the consumer. So we have to remember that when we're dealing with our clients. Some people would like to schedule a call. Some people would just like to go by text. You have to work with them. Okay. And then something else a lot of us use, and there's nothing wrong with a quote request form. However, okay, and this is my Disney one, but even though we were talking about Universal, it's fine. The quote request form should not have a ton of questions on it. You may think, well, but can I get a lot of information from that? Yes, you can. However, what is the likelihood of somebody filling it out all the way? All right. You want to get a good baseline, and then so that way they can get your interest to you. So, because some people love to fill out a form. Okay. Some people do not. All right. So we try to get the different modalities. Do we want to fill out a form? Or do we want to text? And text is fine. And I know there's a lot of agents who are, you know, I am a full believer in boundaries and making sure that you are not working during off hours. I don't text people back after working hours. I will say, okay, now if they text me like asking something that's not urgent, I'll say I'll get to you back to you on Monday. They might just be texting you because they thought of it. Okay. And so anyway, we're in this world where we have to meet our clients where they are. And that is going to help us have a more successful qualifying process. Okay. So I said we have to help them narrow down the choices. This is where they get stuck. So your job is to unstick them in their decision-making process. Okay. And of course, and I kind of already went through all this again. Um, use an email to go back and forth. You can ask these questions, and that's what I do. If somebody's not scheduling a call, I will just say, okay, so when's the best time for you to travel? All right. So now here are the hotel options I'm thinking. And you can even send a little video showing, and I've done this, like showing the different hotels and saying and walking them through the different options. Okay. This is a lot of work on this side. However, when it comes to closing the sale, you close the sale much faster because they know what they're making a decision on. Qualifying makes it so much easier to close. All right. Because they have already seen all and the questions that they have and the doubts that they have that come into play when it's time to put a deposit down, they've been addressed already in the qualifying process, which is why it's such a powerful part of our sales system. And you have to make sure that you are doing it adequately. Okay. Because it's not about the quote. It's about that experience that you talk about and that you present to them. And the quote is just the summary. The quote is just the terms and conditions. The quote is not, of course, yes, price is going to be something that people are always going to ask about. And a lot of times I will tell them, okay, so this would be the low end and this would be the high end. And also I've told you guys this before, when I send a quote, I send it with a video of me explaining it to them if I can't get them on the phone, because it's hard to get people on the phone. Like I said, I'm still trying to schedule my HVAC appointment because we've been playing phone tag, and that's what happens. Okay. I just wish I could text them and say, hey, come next week. Let me know the day. All right. But it's just how their business operates. So I just want you to remember that you want to keep your business operating to help, the clients make a decision. And so I went through all this when you talk about the qualifying process, the sales process. This is very cumbersome. Scheduling an appointment, you get a lead and they might even fill out your quote request form and you have enough to run a quote. And you might be like, oh, I just want to get to the quote. I don't want to have to ask them all these other questions. So this is the now that we're in baseball season, the National League Manager of the Year, Pat Murphy, who is the manager of my son's favorite team, the Milwaukee Brewers. And I will tell you, we sat through a very painful game last Saturday. This is a picture from last Saturday. We had excellent seats. It was wonderful, except the Brewers got hammered. I think it was like, I don't even know what the score was, but Aaron Judge had a historical day. I know that. But anyway, and then they went on to lose the next game. Then they went on to lose the next game. And my son and I also listened to baseball podcasts in the car. And there was a quote from their manager saying, everybody's, and this is actually a quote from last year because there was no quote, like he had said it in an interview, but nobody wrote it down. So I couldn't Google it. But what he said was, everybody wants the result. Okay. You fall in love with the result, but it's the process that you have to fall in love with. And that's the same thing for sales. We all love the result when they deposit and then they do the final payment and then we get paid commission. Okay. But when you focus on your sales process and you are constantly working on improving that, okay, you are, this says ready for that pitch, but it makes it easier for the person to give you a deposit, makes it easier for you to get results. So if you put more time into the qualifying and into getting that part of the process, the harder part that nobody wants to go through and ask all the questions. I know what's best for people. Well, we do know what's best, but we have to know what their situation is to know what to recommend to them, because what's best for me might not be what's best for my neighbor, and what's best for the person who's calling me from the HVAC company. She's the most cheerful person, guys, but I can't get her on the phone because she calls me, I can't answer. I call her, she doesn't answer. And you want to remember that we need to be in the process. Okay. It's not just about the sales, it's about getting there. And that's next week. We're going to talk about going over sales numbers. So we love going over the numbers. We love the result. We love that part. However, we can't get that part without going through the painful process. Okay. So you have a wonderful weekend. I will see you again next week. And we're going to finish our sales mini series that we've been having next Thursday. And we're going to talk about analyzing sales numbers and how to then use that to set your sales goals for the next quarter. Have a great day. Bye-bye.